It is now 7 o'clock, and we will call the City Council meeting to order. Good evening and welcome to the Waukegan City Council meeting. Whether you're here in the audience or watching at home, we're so happy to have you here at our meeting. These meetings are where the people's business is conducted, and we're always glad to have residents and business owners in attendance and involved in our government. With that, roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Florian.
Present.
Alderman Hayes.
Present.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Seeger.
Present.
Alderman Mosio.
Here.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Present.
Alderman Newsome.
Present.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Mayor Taylor.
Present.
You have a quorum, ma'am.
Thank you. Pastor Eugene Roberson is here this evening to do our invocation, followed by our Pledge of Allegiance. Yes, please come to the microphone. Thank you.
Let us pray. Eternal Father, we come tonight to say thank you for all the individuals who are present. Thank you for the mayor of this great city. Thank you for all the aldermen, the master. We pray that you give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, Lord, how to run this city, that the community will be pleased. We ask you, Lord, in Jesus' name, amen.
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 Thank you, Pastor Roberson. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor's comments. This coming Saturday, September 25th, we were supposed to do an honorary street dedication for Apostle Harry Stackhouse. That has been canceled. All celebrations for Saturday regards to this event have all been canceled. The Park District and the Historical Society are hosting the 26th annual Oakwood Cemetery Walk from 1 to 4 this Saturday. This past weekend, the Genesee Theater held 2 sold-out shows and has a full schedule going into the colder months, including the popular Ghost Walk. Visit their website at geneseetheater.com for upcoming shows and to purchase tickets. The Ghost Walk sells out quickly, so please get your tickets. September is National Prepared Month, which raises awareness for preparing for disasters, emergencies when they happen. For information on creating plans for your homes and putting a kit together, go to ready.gov. September is also Suicide Prevention Month. Evidence shows that providing support, reducing access to means of self-harm, and following up with our friends, relatives, and neighbors are actions that we can all take to help others. Help is available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day at 800-273-8255 in English and 888-628-9454 in Spanish. You can also visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org. Waukegan School District 60 established a quarantine support plan for students to provide instructional support while complying with the required COVID quarantines. The plan has started and will keep students up to date on classwork while also offering tutoring as necessary. Find details at the district website, wps60.org. As I brought up at the last meeting, the city's senior water rebate program applications are due at the end of the month, September 30th. You can learn more on the city website, which is waukeganil.gov, or in the back cabinet back there are programs for you to see there. Good news on the COVID-19. I am pleased that our case counts are starting to flatten out. We're actually making some progress. Again, I encourage everybody to go ahead and get their vaccines. I know everybody is over COVID. We're done with masks. Nobody wants to hear about it. But please, if you know anyone who wants to consider getting the vaccine or you want more education yourself, please visit allvax, vax.lakecohealth.org. Also, we will have a couple of workshops coming up. The 4th Ward is having on September 27th, which is a Monday, in the parking lot across from the 200 Julian Center from 8:30 to 3. They will have their Operation Clean Sweep. We have information up here about it. And we did a seminar about a month ago on the use of force workshop. And Black Lives Matter is now having that available at their facility on Thursday, September 30th from 6 to 8, which is 216 North County Street. Like I said, if you are interested in that, please call Black Lives Matter on that. Finally, I want to talk about the general decorum for the public. Let me preface by the fact that I want us to all in this community learn to treat each other with dignity and respect. Whether you're on this side of the dais or that side, when you come up here to talk, please, when it's public comment, the public has their 3 minutes and they can say what they want. When we're here and it's Alderman time, please respect that time also. Again, let's make this community the showplace that it is and show everyone how we can learn to respect and give each other dignity. On that note, those are my final remarks. Let's move on to proclamations, presentations, and appointments.
The first proclamation we have is Diaper Need Awareness Week, September 27th through October 3rd, 2021. Whereas diaper need, the condition of not having a sufficient supply of clean diapers to keep babies and toddlers clean, dry, and healthy, can adversely affect the health and well-being of babies, toddlers, and their families. And whereas national surveys and research studies report that 1 in 3 families struggles with diaper need and 48% of families delay changing a diaper to extend their supply. And whereas children go through 6 to 12 diapers each day during the years they wear diapers. And whereas purchasing enough diapers to keep a baby or toddler clean, dry, and healthy can consume 14% of a low-wage family's post-tax income, making it difficult to obtain a sufficient supply. And whereas a daily or weekly supply of diapers is generally an eligibility requirement for babies and toddlers to participate in child care programs and quality early education programs. And whereas without enough diapers, babies and toddlers risk infections and health problems that may require medical attention and may prevent parents from attending work or school, thereby hurting the family's economic prospects and well-being. And whereas Waukegan residents recognize that addressing diaper need can lead to economic opportunity for low-income families and improved health for families and their communities. And whereas Waukegan is proud to be home to Keeping Families Covered, a national diaper bank network member that recognizes the importance of diapers in helping provide economic stability for families and distribute diapers to families through various channels. And whereas Keeping Families Covered distributed 1.1 million diapers so far during the COVID-19 pandemic and realizes during the next phase raising diaper need awareness is even more critical. And now, therefore, be it resolved that Mayor Taylor and members of the City Council of Waukegan, Illinois, do hereby proclaim the week of September 27th through October 3rd, 2021 as Diaper Need Awareness Week in the City of Waukegan, and encourage the citizens of Waukegan to donate generously to diaper banks, diaper drives, and organizations that distribute diapers to families in need to help alleviate diaper need in Waukegan and the surrounding region, adopted this 20th day of September, 2021. Diapers.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
Our next proclamation is Rail Safety Week in Waukegan, which is September 20th through 26th. Madam Clerk, would you like to read that proclamation?
Thank you. Rail Safety Week in Waukegan, September 20th to 26th, 2021. Whereas 1,889 rail grade crossing collisions resulted in 678 personal injuries, and we were responsible for 201 fatalities in the United States during 2020. And whereas 1,088 trespassing incidents have occurred in the United States, resulting in 532 pedestrians being killed and another 556 injured while trespassing on railroad property rights of way during 2020. And whereas educating and informing the public about rail safety, reminding the public that railroad right-of-ways are private property, enhancing public awareness of the dangers associated with highway, rail grade crossings, ensuring pedestrians and motorists are looking and listening while near railways and obeying established traffic laws will reduce the number of fatalities and injuries. And whereas the International Association of Chiefs of Police, National Operation Lifesaver, United States Department of Transportation, and all local, state, county, and railroad law enforcement officers, first responders, and railroad corporations commit to partnering together in an effort to educate at a national level all aspects of railroad safety, to enforce applicable laws in support of National Rail Safety Week. And now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Ann B. Taylor and members of the City Council of Waukegan, Illinois, do hereby proclaim September 20th, 2021 as Rail Safety Week in Waukegan and encourage all citizens to recognize the importance of rail safety education. Adopted this 20th day of September, 2021.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Our next proclamation is the Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Nu Lambda Sigma Chapter Day, which is September 25th, 2021. Would you like to read the proclamation, Madam Clerk?
Yes. Pi Beta Sigma Fraternity Nu Lambda Sigma Chapter Day, September 25th, 2021. Whereas Pi Beta Sigma Fraternity was founded at Howard University in Washington, D.C., January 9th, 1914, by 3 young African-American male students. And whereas the founders, Honorable A. Langston Taylor, Honorable Leonard F. Morse, and Honorable Charles I. Brown, wanted to organize a Greek letter fraternity that would truly exemplify the ideals of brotherhood, scholarship, and service. And whereas members of the Pi Beta Sigma hold a deep conviction that they should return their skills to the communities from which they come, as mirrored in the fraternity's motto, culture for service and service for humanity. And whereas Pi Beta Sigma has blossomed into an international organization of leaders with affiliated chapters located worldwide, including our own local Nu Lambda Sigma chapter was founded in the city of Waukegan. And whereas the Nu Lambda Sigma chapter will continue to foster the national and local initiatives of Pi Beta Sigma fraternity to develop and implement mentoring programs for teaching young men job training skills, investment money management skills, business development training, and community service, as well as to help provide merit scholarships for college-bound young men from Lake County, Illinois. And whereas the Nu Lambda Sigma chapter will be hosting their 7th annual scholarship gala on Saturday, September 25th, 2021, with the theme, A Brotherhood of Conscious Men Committed to Igniting a Brighter Future, that is connected to their goal of improving the scholastic trajectory and future of young men in our communities. And whereas the city of Waukegan celebrates this commitment by Pi Beta Sigma Fraternity Nu Lambda Sigma chapter and the Blue Crescent Outreach Educational Foundation in providing academic assistance and leadership development to underserved and underrepresented young men ages 8 to 18 in Lake County, Illinois, and for making a positive impact on the lives of our youth. And now, therefore, be it resolved that Mayor Ann B. Taylor and members of the City Council of Waukegan, Illinois, do hereby proclaim September 25th, 2021, Pi Beta Sigma Fraternity Nu Lambda Sigma Chapter Day in Waukegan, adopted this 20th day of September, 2021.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Thank you.
Item D, can I have a first to a motion?
I'll motion.
I'll
Alderman-
second it.
second Alderman Turner, a motion to approve a resolution 21R64, light years filming on the Amschultz, October 4th through 6th, 2021. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Can I have well, let me explain this next one. Last week, we ratified our library board. And in going through the names, I forgot one. And even though it was in the package that we voted on, the audience never got to meet this person. And he's got an outstanding resume. He is the Assistant Library Director at Trinity International University. So, Nathan Thurbaj, would you like to come up and stand up and introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Go ahead and speak. We'd love for you to speak. Actually, can
Why
you
don't you
move
go
the
over to
microphone?
the podium?
I just wanted to say thank you, Mayor Taylor, for this appointment. Thank you for this opportunity to serve. Our family moved here to Waukegan 6 years ago, and since then we've been weekly visitors to the public library. And so we are very appreciative for the way that it has enriched our family and look forward to serving our community in this way. So thank you again.
Can we get a picture with you since we didn't get one with you last week? Jane, would you love to do a picture with us? Come on, everyone.
Come
on. Yes. Good job. Thank you very much.
Congratulations,
We're so happy that he's on the board. And again, I just wanted everyone to have a chance to meet him. So again, we want to make a first. Any alderman want to make a first on the motion?
I'll make the first.
I'll second it.
Okay. Alderman Turner and Alderman Rivera, a motion to ratify appointments to the Waukegan Public Library Board of Trustees. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before we make the next motion, I'm going to, not everybody will be here this evening, but those that are, I'd like you to come up front. So for the next appointments for the Waukegan CDBG Stakeholder Participation Panel, there will be 3 returning members, reappointments of Crystal Cruz, Kate Callamore, Cynthia Springfield, new members will be Mary Blair Moore, Dylan Burdette, Brendan Stewart, David Villalobos, Jackie Neves, Alicia Giles. Again, from the bottom of our hearts, from the City Council, we want to thank you for accepting these appointments. We know the time commitment that is involved in this. And Larissa, would you like to stand up so they can meet you? Because this is our part of our department, and she will be working with you.
All right. All right.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Alderman Newsome, second by Alderman Turner. A motion to ratify the appointments to the Waukegan CDBG Stakeholder Participation Panel. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager. Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
You have a motion. You have
Thank you. Can we get a picture of everybody?
Yeah.
We're going to have you guys squeeze together, and then any of your family members that you'd like to have come up. Thank you, everyone. Again, we appreciate your service to the community. Audience time, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. And we're getting the list. While we're getting the list, please remember that the presiding officer shall conduct city council meetings, in an orderly manner. No person in the audience shall engage in disorderly conduct, including any act that disturbs, disrupts, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of any council meeting or the presentation of any speaker. So we look forward to tonight. You have 3 minutes. And the first one will be Mr. David Villalobos, our new CDBG stakeholder.
Hello, everyone. I'm David Villalobos, 4th Ward resident. Speaking upon agenda item 7B under new business, the resolution to purchase property 1 South Genesee Street. I have a couple of points to make and then 2 questions. One, property taxes are the #1 revenue source for local government, so the purchase of 1 South Genesee Street will reduce property tax revenue, and it's fiscally irresponsible to actively reduce property tax revenue. Number 2, Lake County Assessment and Tax Office has the 2020 assessment of the property at a market value of $893,384 and a total equalized assessed value of $297,765. The total property taxes paid in 2021 to all taxing districts and the TIF district for downtown was $33,753. The purchase of this property will also negatively impact the TIF funding, which in 2020 was $6,606. So the point being is that the loss of revenue, anytime a municipality purchases land, they're extending the non-taxing property that's owned. And so that reduces property value, and that reduces taxes and revenue tax. The fiscal impacts compound each year the city owns the property, resulting in further loss of tax revenue. The 2020 comprehensive plan, land use plan, doesn't even make a recommendation for the city of Waukegan to purchase any property in downtown Waukegan in order to meet the 5 goals listed for the downtown within the plan. So I don't see how this fits in long-term planning. Also note too that the downtown redevelopment can occur without purchasing a commercial property. So my 2 questions, one, what is the proposed purchase amount for this building? And any purchase amount over market value would be fiscally irresponsible. 2, is there a land use plan for the property should the city move forward with this? Without specific details, it is, again, fiscally irresponsible to purchase the property. So I propose and hope that an alderman here on the dais tonight will table this item on the agenda until more information is available to the public so we know what's going on as well. Seems kind of out of the blue, and those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Villalobos. Rose Sewan?
Rose.
Rose Sewan?
Left.
She left, okay. Mr. Jim Domiano from Horse Feathers?
Hey, good evening. Sorry. This is about crime in downtown Waukegan. Saturday, 3 p.m., employees let us know someone was on Sheridan Road screaming profanity so loud it could be heard at our building 300 feet away. When I went to lunch, I saw that person walking down the middle of Clayton Street. I pulled up, told them to get out of the road. They screamed profanities at me. After lunch, I saw him again harassing a pedestrian, walking close and screaming. The pedestrian was visibly bothered. I yelled from my car, "Hey, leave her alone, get out of here." And then I saw he had a knife, a fair-sized knife. I yelled at everyone, "Hey, the guy's got a knife, get out of there." I pulled my car over. Another driver saw me and came to help. The pedestrian took off in the distraction, and the crazy person, because he was, sat down on the bus stop and waited while the police were summoned. They showed up real quick, which is great. But they told me there was nothing they could do. They can't take him off the street for help against his will because that's kidnapping, and no crime was actually committed that warranted more than a ticket. They did take the knife. An hour later, one of our customers who uses Metro walked by that area and said the guy was out there screaming profanities, threatening people, throwing beer cans. These were teenagers, and they were bothered enough to tell us about this. I went out to see if I could convince him to move along, and his response to me was, and I paraphrase, "I will effing stab you and I will kill you." I called the cops to get him out of there, and I told them I would press charges. While I waited, which was less than 15 minutes, the man chugged 5 beers and threw the cans in traffic and on the grass. Cops said they could not remove him. They could not arrest him for drunken disorderly assault, nothing. The best they could do is possibly give him a ticket, and if I wanted situations like this handled, I was to come to you. So here I am. The guy was there for 6 more hours, screaming, drinking, profanities, making life miserable, especially for all the people who went to the Genesee Theater to a show that night. Side note, the cops can't find the time to remove a guy like that from the street, but because I forgot to put my registration sticker on my car, they ticketed me. Don't worry, I paid it. Rodell, this is your award. You have not responded to any of my calls or emails for 6 months, but if you truly believe, and I quote you, small businesses are important to the 4th Ward and the city of Waukegan, then take action. Cute, prosperous downtown areas do not tolerate dirty, knife-wielding, beer can-throwing people threatening to kill other people. This is not okay. Waukegan's getting worse. And if the city council doesn't take action to stop this level of crime, the city is doomed. And if Rodell won't do anything, I challenge all of you to try to get something done to stop this level of crime. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Domiano. Calvin Mathis, Mr. Calvin Mathis.
Good evening. To the aldermen, alderwomen, good evening. I just want to say, Mayor Taylor, I totally agree with your opening statement earlier about respecting one another and the proper decorum in public. I sometimes think that's a big distraction of what we should be doing as citizens and as public officials. I personally do. I want to see a better city. I don't think we gain anything by disrespecting one another in a personal way or anything like that. I tend to like to stick with the issues. And, you know, I think about that phrase, adults acting like kids. And I kind of think it's kind of backwards. Kids act like adults. Kids see this behavior and they emulate it, and that's a problem. And we got to grow up, and we got to set better examples. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings or talk about anybody. I want to see a better community. I want to see righteousness instead of unrighteousness. And I want to see righteous people instead of unrighteous people. You have behavior and you got characteristics. What we've seen the last couple of weeks have been unrighteous behavior. I'm not in the judging business. I couldn't tell you about anybody. I wouldn't judge anybody. I'm not in that business. My average isn't good in judging people. But I do know unrighteous behavior. And this is not on my paper. I'm going to continue on with my presentation, but I just wanted to say that to everybody here, citizens and leaders. Let's just work together. And Mayor Taylor, I really appreciate you coming to the First Ward, boarding up that house for Brother Blanks that he spoke to, rather, and that was a good gesture. That was a righteous act. You and your chief of staff and the building coach. That's what I'm talking about. Let's work together. Let's make the city a better place. We're not going to if you talk about me in public, you're not going to get a good reaction from me. Just the way it is. So let's just work together. I'll continue on. That's pretty much, that's not what I wanted to talk about, but it was worth taking the minute out just to say that I want to encourage the adults to act like adults and set good examples for the kids. I mean, the cursing and the profanity, the innuendos. If we have kids here, and I'm very protective of children, if you don't know that. And so let's set good examples and just make the city a better place. That's my appeal to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mathis. Margaret Carrasco, please.
Good evening. Tonight, I'll begin with Alderman Mozio. Sir, your job is to serve the residents, all of the residents in the 3rd Ward, not just your friends. It's not a private country club. This is the 3rd time that I brought to your attention that your email that's posted on the city website errors out. How are we to communicate with you? Next, the Paragon Restaurant on Grand Avenue has been marked with gang graffiti for weeks. I don't know, is it still up? But that should have been taken down the first day. Next, the gas stations. The gas stations that people don't realize are now being utilized for many, unfortunately, gang shootings, and people are being gunned down. And the reason is because the gas station owners, they don't care. They let people loiter there, and drug deals go on and on and on, including the 3rd Ward, the Citco that's right there in the corner. Okay, it's an eyesore. And I think that we need to send code to them and make them, instead of just looking the other way, you know what? If you have shootings at your place, you need to pay for security. And last, folks, taxpayers of Waukegan, I brought more pictures, and this is for legal counsel for the city of Waukegan to look into. The first one is, I think it's just very interesting, just an observation. The first one is a 1st Ward Alderman. And if you notice, you have all new cement work here that was done. I don't know, I'm just asking, who paid? Then I have the next picture here, which you show clearly you can tell the difference in the color, new sidewalk in front, which is fine, but that's continues on all the way down to the driveway. And if you notice the car that's in the lot, that's Mary Cunningham's car, and that's her address. I'm just asking, who paid? So I'm just going to share these, and if legal counsel could look into that, because I know as a taxpayer, my driveway was not repaved for free, and I don't think it's right that taxpayers should have to pay for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carrasco. Clyde McLemore. Clyde McLemore.
Your Honor, while we're waiting on Clyde.
No, I'll say his name 3 times.
I get emails from the city all the time. I don't know what's going on, but I will check in. I know you've talked to me about before, Margaret. I don't know. I do get emails from constituents and from city personnel all the time, so I don't know what's going on with that. But again, I've said this 1,000 times. 847-997-7376. You can call me anytime, day or night. I don't know what's wrong with the email. I don't, but I'll look into it.
Thank you. Mr. McLemore?
Okay. Everything okay? Hello, Mayor and City Council members. First, I want to speak on the total disrespect of Alderman Turner. First, you are an elected official. Turning your back and throwing up your middle finger is total disrespect to the citizens. And as a black man, total disrespect to being one. Black people have been labeled uneducated, ignorant, and what you demonstrated was a display of your ignorancy. Alderman, you should show this behavior numerous times. Mayor, I do realize he is an elected official and there's not much you could do about his behavior. But when you allow a sitting alderman call one of your members, staff members, gay, and he don't like his lifestyle, once again, you're allowing his behavior to pay for lawsuits that we can't win. but you allow him to be one of your biggest supporters. However, I do want to state all black people ain't ignorant or uneducated. Again, I'd like to stress to the mayor that you're taking advantage of the city and its citizens. Stu, when are you going to tell the citizens about the demand letter of $3 million and about the open EEOC case? Mayor, you have got elected and stated that you would make Chief Bridges your chief of staff. Most people thought or assumed that Bridges would just transfer positions and still be a city employee. It was smart on his part to retire and then become a new employee, but it shows he is pimping the city and double dipping, and it shows he really don't have no love for the city. He really don't have no connection with the black community. Yeah, he grew up here, but he didn't go to school here. He's not a bulldog. This double dipping shit is robbing our citizens of Waukegan. Even our president says tax the rich, and he is taxing the citizens. Mayor, when Sam said to me that, and a Black Lives Matter board member, that no nigga got him elected, I immediately called you and asked you to run for mayor. I know you remember my calls. Well, if some changes don't happen in a few months, we're gonna start looking for individuals to run. You ran on diversity and transparency, and that's all we asked of you.
Thank you, Mr. McLemore.
She wanted to speak. She's still open, right?
She can speak after Mr. Bell Peterson.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you called that.
I'm going to. Mr. Bell Peterson.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ralph Peterson, Jr. I'm a former activist of Lake County, and today I stand before you all because I am truly disturbed at the actions of Alderman Keith Turner. At the last council meeting, Alderman Turner turned his back on some taxpaying citizens and put his middle finger up as to say, F you. Myself and many other taxpaying citizens would welcome Mr. Turner stepping down from his position. And we find just appalling the silence of this NEO board after witnessing Turner's blatant behavior, leaving many to wonder if this newly elected branch of city leaders are in agreement with the vulgar actions of Mr. Turner. I must mention that such behavior has been Turner's MO for years. He's on record /public/Facebook calling the first African-American First Lady of the United States a bitch, which I give proof with everything that I'm saying, which I handed out to you guys. He's also asked his Facebook friends to financially support George Zimmerman, who killed Trayvon Martin. And shortly after Mike Brown, the teen unjustly killed in St. Louis, Mr. Turner stated Brown was just more male bovine excrement. You have proof of all that with his signature on it, because I screenshot everything. Also, Mr. Turner stated boldly on his Facebook page, I quote, "Niggas these days, their shirts, Versace, pants, True Religion, boxers, polos, belts, Ferragamo, shoes, New Jordans, education, missing, common sense, none, ambition, 0%. I close by saying, this board owes the citizens an apology, and I ask the public to pay attention, special attention, to the alderman's comment time, and note who will address Mr. Turner's blatant disrespect. Mr. Turner, such grade school foolishness promotes us against them, which equals division. I ask you to show Waukegan some love and please step down because you are a city leader. There's no way on God's green earth you're supposed to actually turn your back. You know, I have grandkids that would not even do that. And I truly think your position is a tad bit above your pay.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shaquita Sledge. First off, I'm going to start with we all are human. But in the public eye, you should keep your feelings to the side. In this campaign ad, the Alderman tournament stated that too long Waukegan hasn't had leadership that don't have experience. So basically, he said that y'all don't have leadership that's not experienced. He also stated Waukegan is not in city progress, but the city is stagnation. This is true with the alderman who turns his back and put his middle finger up in the air, such as Alderman Turner, who has no experience in leadership. Leadership isn't giving just ice cream or coffee. Leadership is boots on the ground, which that's something I do. Leadership is willing to be able to listen to your citizens and the different opinions that we have, not turn around and just not listen to us. Because remember, you're in office for us, and it's our money that keep you in office. I personally just started coming to meetings, and the display of the behavior that was last time was disrespectful. And I have it all on camera. It's beyond to me to see someone in leadership that perform like that. I get on Clyde, and everybody know I get on Clyde when he goes off, because he is someone I look up to and respect. It's time for black men to lead in a respectful way. Mayor, Black Lives Matter has a FOIA. How many businesses in Waukegan have a safety plan before they open? We have learned that only one business have one. Why would you implement this starting with black business? You made a promise to Stretch that you would send Margaret over for this plan together. That demonstrates a few things about you. First of all, you are not the woman of your word. Second of all, it shows that you're not about diversity. I would also like to say that the Mexican Independence Parade, it drove a lot of alcohol, a lot of partying, bars jumping. I would like to know why they didn't have to go through most of the things that we had to go through to receive this notice. This event was very big, sort of like ours was very big. They never had to go through anything that we had to go through to get their event like we had to go through ours.
Thank you. Thank you. That concludes audience time, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The consent agenda. Can I have a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Okay, Alderman Seeger, second by Alderman Florian. Item A, a motion to approve Halloween trick-or-treat hours for Sunday, October 31st, 2021, from 2 to 5. Item B, a motion to approve vendor payments dated September 20th, 2021, in a total amount of $2,241,545.34. Item C, a motion to approve the regular payroll dated September 10th, 2021, in a total amount of $1,603,014.36. Item D, a motion to approve miscellaneous payroll, PD payback or holiday payback, comp time cash out, elected officials and civil service stipend final payouts dated September 10th, 2021, in a total amount of $88,950.29. Item E, a motion to authorize the proper city officials to waive the competitive bidding requirements and approve payment to Campanella and Sons for emergency water main repairs for Section 2-458 I-2 bona fide operating emergency for the amount of $15,265.12, along with a change order adding an additional $100,000 with funds being paid from line item 556-916-027043 bond funds. Item F, motion to approve the resolution approving the agreement with Baxter Woodman / Bowler for the East Reservoir and raw water mixing repairs for an amount not to exceed $2,843,700 and waive the competitive bidding requirements for the construction portion, as that was not part of the RFQ process, with the funds being charged to line item 556-916027018 water bonds 2020. Item G, motion to approve the resolution approving the agreement with Crawford Murphy and Tilley for the design bid build for the raw water pumping station and electric improvements for $300,000, with the project being bid out next year for the construction portion expected to cost approximately $2.5 million. Funds to be charged to the line item 556-916-027018 water bonds 2020. Item H, motion to authorize the proper city officials to approve a change order with Unified Construction Group in the amount of $119,788 and authorize a payment of $67,479 remaining under the original contract, and cancel the PO for the total amount to Unified Construction Group for the amount of $168,788. Funds to be paid from the 2018 GO bonds, line item 307-130-726-367 from this fiscal year. Item I, motion to authorize the proper city officials to approve a change order to the contract with Gluber Architects and Engineers for the amount of $26,380 and a payment of $15,350.10 remaining in the PO under the original contract amount for the total amount of $41,730.10. Funds to be paid from the 2018 GO bonds, line item 307-130-726367 from this fiscal year. Item J, motion to authorize the proper city officials to approve the resolution and authorize the purchase of 2 Ford pickup trucks from Coons not to exceed the amount of $96,919.26. Item K, motion to authorize the proper city officials to approve a change order number 1 with Optima Construction and Abatement, Inc. in the amount of $9,866, increasing the contract amount from $24,915 to a not to exceed amount of $34,781. Item L, motion to approve all raffle permits. Any questions to the motion?
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I just want to point under H, I know you were reading as fast as you could, but you said 168,000 and it's 186.
Yes, let's correct that. It's $186,788. Thank you, Alderman Florian, for the correction.
Oh, good catch.
Any questions to the motions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
I'm sorry, we didn't get first and second.
We did.
Yeah.
We did before you read them.
We did, yeah.
Seeger and Florian.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seeger.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Treasurer's monthly report.
It's been filed with the clerk. It should be on our website. If anybody needs a copy, I have a copy with me today. And so goes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Can I have a motion, or under new business, can I have a motion first?
First to go into closed section.
Okay. Alderman Turner, second by Alderman Hayes, to go into the closed session for the purpose of discussing purchase of real estate amount or real property pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2-C-5. We had a motion. Roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
You have a quorum.
Thank you.
One of my patients brought it to me, and I told her, I said, well, you know, I kind of live.
The city council will return from closed session to complete the rest of the agenda.
Safety reasons, I said, the airport's not going away. She goes, oh, well, you need to get that word out.
I just sent myself an email. Came through. I have no idea what she's talking about.
Can I have a first?
This is a motion to come back into open session.
Yep. Motion by Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman Kirkwood. This is a motion to come back from closed session. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Okay, item B. Can I have a motion? Motion. Alderman Hayes. A motion to approve, or I need a second, I'm sorry. Alderman Florian.
I'll make the second.
Okay. A motion to approve a resolution authorizing the purchase of real property located at 1 South Genesee Street in Waukegan, Illinois. And should I say the purchase price? For $500,000. Where is, Noel, would you like to come up and explain this?
And who made that motion, ma'am?
So the motion, the first was made by Alderman Hayes, second by Alderman Turner.
The building at 1 South Genesee has been,
Is that on?
It's on. It's not a big deal.
now it's on. The building at 1 South Genesee Street in downtown Waukegan is part of a block that is owned by the city of Waukegan and is a prime development site that was identified as far back as our 2003 Downtown Lakefront Master Plan. We hope with your approval for the purchase of this additional property to be able to market the entire block to the development community for a mixed-use development in accordance with our Downtown Lakefront Master Plan and our comprehensive plan. Do you want me to elaborate on anything in particular?
Well, you want to explain how we're paying for this?
Sure. Funds for this purchase will come out of the existing fund balance in TIF number 8, which is the TIF district in which it is located in the downtown.
So to clarify to everybody, we are actually buying this property under value, and we are using it to try and do a whole block development so that we can start economic development in our downtown area. So I think this is a win for the city. Like I said, we're buying it under value, and we're using TIF money that is already there in that TIF district to purchase it. Anything else?
I add that acquisition is an eligible use of TIF funds.
Your Honor, Noel may want to explain to the audience that we've had not numerous, but we've had inquiries about the property, but they always want to know, what are you going to do about the bank building? What a developer, and I'm no developer, they want the whole building, the whole block. They just don't want 2/3 of it or whatever it breaks down as. So that was the impetus behind this. Is we've had developers come and say, we want this, but what are you going to do about the bank building? Well, we don't own it. Okay, and that's where it stops.
That's absolutely right, Alderman.
Not the school.
No.
Apologize, we can't hear you.
Across the street, Clyde.
Can't do, yeah.
Across the street.
Okay. So now that we've got a motion on the floor, any questions to the motion from the Alderman?
Mayor?
Thank you. Yes.
Alderman Bolton, if you could just explain in layman terms so that our audience may really understand, is it a cost to our taxpayers? Can you break that down in layman terms?
I think Noel explained it. We already have what we call TIF districts. And you want to elaborate what a TIF district is? It's a tax incentive financing. But I'll have you explain it a little bit further.
Sure. Tax increment financing, or TIF, is an economic development tool that the state of Illinois allows municipalities to use for redevelopment purposes. This particular area was made a TIF district in 2013, most recently. It had been a TIF district prior to that, but the current TIF district was created in 2013 for the purpose of redevelopment. So when a TIF district is created, some of the property tax payments that are coming into that district, instead of going to the original property tax collectors, the various taxing bodies, that additional money, which is called the increment, is set aside into a redevelopment fund that the city has for redevelopment purposes. In some cases, you're supporting developments directly through incentive agreements with developers. In this case, we have the money available, and acquisition is an allowable use for TIF money. So we're able to use existing TIF money in this TIF district to make this purchase.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any questions to the motion? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seeger.
Aye.
Alderman Mosio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion pass.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. There being no ordinances, closing items, Alderman time.
Alderman Rivera.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First, I'd like to thank everyone that participated during audience time. Again, I know that it's hard to get up in front of a crowd, but we appreciate, at least I appreciate, and I know a lot of the members of the council do appreciate the comments and the feedback that we do get from the audience. I do want to acknowledge what Mayor Taylor indicated and what some of the audience members also indicated, that we must treat each other with respect and dignity. There's just no way of around that. Without that, we're not going to move forward. We're going to be stuck in one place. Again, thank you very much for all your comments. I would like to congratulate the appointees to the CDBG Stakeholder Participation Panel, and also to the Waukegan Public Library Board of Trustees. Congratulations to those appointees. I also wanted to make mention, we approved a resolution for, or proclamation for Light Years production down at the Amstutz. They were previously in shooting at a home in Buckley Hills. They were there for, I want to say, 4 days, maybe possibly 5 days. But they did a great job of communicating with the neighbors what was going to happen. They had a lot of people come in. They had a lot of equipment and a lot of trucks. They required a lot of space for all this. And not only do they bring commerce to our community, but it also brings attention and exposure to our community. And it also, it helps our commerce. When these people came in, they came in with 100 plus that were part of the crew. I believe they had rented out all 3 hotels at Fountain Square. And they also negotiated with the yacht club for their space, because they had several semi-tractor trailers that had to be parked, and they needed a consistent station to feed their 100 people. So it was great to have the production here, and it was great exposure for the city of Waukegan. And I welcome them on October, I believe it's the 4th when they come back. And that's all I had. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'd like to echo what Alderman Rivera said about the people who speak at audience time. It is important that we have that time and that you're able to share your concerns and frustrations with us. I too am concerned about crime in this community. I know that there was a murder in my ward this morning, unfortunately. So I struggle with this because I certainly want to do everything I can as an elected official to address these problems in our community, but we have a police chief, we have a police department that is their job to address crime and to keep our community safe. I'd love to have more conversations with the police chief and the community and see what we as elected officials can do to help support our police department and our community and figure out what the solutions are for this. I believe that we need to get to the youth. I think that's where the answers lie. I think we need to have alternatives for the youth in the community and events and support and all of the things that they need, a path forward, a different choice as opposed to gangs and other things. So I look forward to more conversations about this, and I'll do everything I can to make that happen. As far as Mr. Peterson's comments about elected officials, I agree that we need to show as much respect to our residents as we ask them to show to us. We aren't in control of each other up here, though. We're only in control of ourselves. And I try to conduct myself with dignity. I'm known to swear like a truck driver. I try not to let that happen when I'm up here. So far, I don't think I've let it slip, but so I hear what you're saying. I agree that we need to provide the same respect to you we ask from you. So, but just know that we aren't in charge of each other. We're allowed to once we hold this office, we're accountable to our voters. So that's how that works. I also want to echo what Alderman Rivera said about congratulating the CDBG stakeholders and the new library board members. Those are both areas where we needed new blood, I believe. And lastly, I have an Operation Clean Sweep dumpster drop-off on October 28th, which is a little over a month from now. It will be at Fireman's Park up in Castle Crest from 8:30 to 3:30 on that Thursday, October 28th. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Hayes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I would echo the points made by Alderman Florian and Alderman Rivera. And I would also just like to make the point about the diaper drive that was raised earlier. As a dad of 2 kids in diapers, I can attest to the cost of diapers and wipes, and 6 to 12 might be an understatement in how many diapers we go through for one child in a day. So the need for diapers is real. So many of us take it for granted, but it is fundamental to child rearing, to raising a family, to raising healthy kids. So I will certainly be donating, but I would ask members of the community to, or I would encourage you to donate diapers or wipes or whatever else is needed to make the diaper drive and diaper week a success. And I'd also just like to say thank you to the neighborhood groups and associations and homeowners associations that have invited me to come speak. I am available to anyone in the 9th Ward, anyone in the city of Waukegan, really, to come, to meet with you, to discuss the issues. You can call me, you can email me, you can text me. I will respond as soon as I'm able. My email address is thomas.hayes, Hayes, @waukeganil.gov, and phone number is 847-212-4762. So reach out to me with anything. If I can't answer your question, I will try to put you in touch with somebody who can.
Thank you. Alderman Bolton.
Yes, many of you maybe have not was aware of the fact there was going to be a street name change on 10th Street, and the street was going to be named after Apostle Harry Stackhouse, sign of the dove. As mayor had announced, that event is canceled and is rescheduled for October 9th with further notice. And I will be soon planning for Operation Clean Sweep, another one, the last one for this year, and that is to be announced. And also just want to echo the fact, yes, I thank Mayor and the department heads for addressing the burnt house has been sitting there for like 7 or 8, 9 months. And I understand tonight, as we're sitting here, it is being torn down. So I can't wait to drive down that artery and see that house down, because it definitely was a danger to our community, as well as the city addressing the house on the corner of 8th Street. So, and then too, I just want to echo also respect, and I only can speak for Sylvia. Hopefully I've carried myself in a respectful and accountable way. And I welcome, my number is 224-607-8445. I'll say it again. It is 224-607-8445. I do my best to carry that phone on my hip, other than sleeping with it. But I'm always will try to make myself available and to be accountable for my behavior. And I just reinforce it, yes, we should respect one another. God bless you. Everyone have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Seeger.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to announce this program. The youth group that worked with me last Friday, we started on the east side of Lewis Avenue, 120, and went as far as Fulton, and then turned around and started north. It's a good program, the YCC program. It's under a federal grant, and I had a group of 5, and these kids worked like you wouldn't believe. And I want to, hopefully, I can get them back so we can continue to clean up the alleyways going north, and then jump on over to the west side of Lewis Avenue and do those alleys. The program, it has incentives, they get paid, they get bonuses, construction advice and knowledge. It's a good program. Afterwards, I took the kids and we all ate. We worked about 3.5 hours, and I'd like to thank Mike Hewitt from Public Works and his employees. They were also there helping us. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good evening and be safe.
Thank you. Alderman Mozio.
Yeah, first things first. Margaret, earlier I sent myself an email at that and I got it right away. So I don't know what the issue is. Try it now. It's on the sheet of paper that right here, Greg Moisey, like everybody else's. I just got it, so I don't know what the issue is. Well, I don't know. But I just sent myself an email from a different email and I got it. So I don't know what, I'll have to find out from what the problem is. A couple of things. Mr. Mathis has hit on a few good points about that we need to work together. I think we're all concerned about this uptick in violence. And that's what it is, it's violence. And we can continually work to get to the root cause, because that's what any knowledgeable, intelligent person would do, is let's get to the root cause and see what we can do to try to stop it at that. I just know from my experience that the school has more programs now than they've ever had for kids. The Park District has more programs for kids now than they've ever had, and the majority of them are free. So I don't know where the disconnect is, but we need to look at that. There's opportunities there, but why some of our youth are not seizing those opportunities, I don't know. We'll have to look into that farther. Along those lines, I think we've all heard the Chicago chief of police. And he's pretty on target as far as I'm concerned. Our police, as well as any Chicago police, any community's police officers, they can only arrest the same guy so many times or the same person so many times. The charges are brought across the street.
Yeah.
The punishment is across the street. Maybe the judge's hands are tied. Maybe the state's attorney's hands are tied by laws, but we cannot continually have people thinking it's okay to shoot out of a car at another person or whatever they think is fine. I just don't get it. Why that somewhere they think that's acceptable. They think it's acceptable, I think, because they get caught. If they do get caught, our police do a great job to try to catch them, bring them. The charges don't fit. They're back on the street. Now, I don't like to speak out of turn, but I think if I researched that, I think we'd find out that that may seem to be the case. So we can't continually hammer law enforcement, at least the police arm of law enforcement in this town, in this nation, when the state's attorneys and the judges are also part of that chain. They are also part of that. So I think we need to start putting some more pressure on that part of it, because I'm going to tell you what, I think we all understand that we've had a lot of retirements, resignations, etc. We're trying to get our numbers back up. But pretty soon, and we pay a healthy wage, we're very competitive. Pretty soon, nobody's going to want to work for society. Nobody's going to want to be a policeman, and nobody's going to want to be a teacher. I see that coming too, because they don't want to deal with society. Because whatever they do is wrong. So we as a society need to look in the mirror, and it's not a one-fix-all. Yeah, we got to get to the root of it. But meanwhile, we have to get back to public safety. The number one job of any government, federal, state, or local, is what? Public safety. Clean water, right? We got to have clean water. We got to have clean air. This council, we got letters from anonymous water plant that the water may be contaminated. What do? We said, we better have a study. I'm not Flint, Michigan. I'm not going to be Flint, Michigan. We had a study, came back fine. ETO. What do? We said, we better get the air tested. Got the air tested. Things are still going that way. But we got violence on the street. What do? That's just not a simple test. So and I'm going to come back to my friend Calvin Mathis, we got to come together and start putting pressure on all the parts of the chain to do what they're supposed to do. Good night.
Thank you. Alderman Kirkwood.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, to address about mutual respect, I think that most of us conduct ourselves in a respectful manner. I think it's important that as public officials, we continue to do that, and the audience should do the same thing. And that takes respecting one another. I think I hold myself accordingly at all times. I think that it's important that we continue to work on that. As we go forward, I think it's also important that when we look at the uptick in crime, it's all of our responsibility. As I talk with the chief, we don't want to tell on anybody, but let it hit your door. Let your child get killed. Let your mother get shot. Let your car get shot out. Then it's a different story. We have situations that has happened on Genesee, at the parks, and no one comes forward. But somebody was there, but we don't want to tell. So it's not just the aldermen. You know, I heard tonight, well, what are you doing? You know, Alderman, what are you doing? You know, I'm not down on Genesee every day. I'm not on Washington every day. I'm not on Buttrick every day. That's right. We have a situation by East Campus that shootings over there. The residents are tired of it. Laurel Avenue, throughout the city. But somebody knows who's shooting. It doesn't happen in just a vacuum, but we don't want to tell. So it's important that we all work together. Also, when we talk about police officers, I've said this before, we need 180 plus police officers, but they can't do it alone. Still, we need neighborhood watch programs where people are watching for one another, we're talking amongst each other, we're making sure that if something happens on our street, we're well aware of it. Cameras are on your houses, you need to give the police access to those cameras. And sometimes we don't want to do that because, once again, we don't want to be targeted. In the 2nd Ward and in the 4th Ward, we're going to be doing a joint ward meeting, and it will come up on October 11th. Alderman Seeger and myself thought about this, and we're going to be doing this on October the 11th at the Belvedere Rec Center. It'll start at 5:30. We'll be getting you more details. We'll send out some flyers to the community in English and Spanish, something different. We'd like to work on that. So it will be October 11th. That's a day where school is out on that particular date. Also, I want you to mark your calendars for October the 9th. We will have another shred day. It'll start at 8:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock a.m. It will be in the sheriff's parking lot. You will be able to get your material shredded. We'll have 2 trucks for the electronics. Also, we'll have a needle disposal, and also we'll have old medication disposal. Also on September 27th, we'll have Operation Clean Sweep at 200 Julian, right across the street there. And that will encompass Franklin, North Avenue, County, Steel Court, Corey. Throughout that area, we're asking people to bring those items that they want to discard. And that will be next Monday, September 27th, and it'll start at 8:30 in the morning till 3 p.m. Also, on October the 4th, we're going to be looking at doing some more Operation Clean Sweep. We're looking at Hyde Park School, East Campus, and Abbott. Also, in the coming weeks, we're going to be also working at increasing the number of neighborhood watch programs. I can be contacted at 844-484-9273. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Alderman Newsome.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 5th Ward, we'll be planning our next Operation Clean Sweep sometime in October. It will be one day during the week since we have had our Saturday cleanup already. To the CDBG stakeholders participation panel, congratulations. Two of the panel stakeholders live in the 5th Ward, so I just wanted to congratulate them. And then all the aldermen have pretty much talked on mutual respect. As an elected official, each council meeting, each resident that comes up here and speaks has 3 minutes, and it's my job to listen to whatever they have to say. Not only at the council meeting, if anybody calls me, I was elected to do that, to listen. And that's what I do. The 19 years that I've been up here, I'm here to listen to your concerns and address whatever I can address. And if it's out of my hands, I'll make sure it gets to the person that can address it. To the fire department and police department, a couple weeks ago I had a resident on Macquarie that I guess, has set up a wood shop in their backyard and had continuously burning at night. And the residents would have to leave their bedrooms and go to the basement in order to sleep. And so I was contacted and sent the fire department over there. And they went on and I guess put it out. But then a little while later, they started it again. So we had to send the police department over there. So I say that to say this. We do have a burn ordinance in the city of Waukegan. You are not allowed to burn anything that you want to burn, especially at night when you are not watching it and you have the houses that are such close proximity that we have in the city of Waukegan. So you see that, please contact me if it's in the 5th Ward. Please don't hesitate to contact me. It doesn't matter if it's day or night. Then addressing some of the shootings that we're having. We had one last week over in the plaza. First one that I've ever, since I've been living in the city of Waukegan, that has happened. And I walked that plaza, me and my husband, getting our exercise. We walked that plaza. So I'm here, as all the other aldermen have stated, to work with the police department, and as Alderman Moiseo stated, it's going to take all of us to work this out. If you see something, say something, because I don't want to be walking through there and then somebody is targeting someone else and I just happen to be an innocent bystander, or any of us just happen to be going in and out of a store over there or any place in this city. And you're randomly hit because they're trying to target someone else. I just pray for the innocent bystanders in this city, that they're safe. With that, I say have a good night.
Thank you. Alderman Turner.
Yes, thank you, Madam Clerk. Firstly, this is the first meeting since September 11th, and I just want to recognize and thank those who, the Waukegan Fire Department and Police Department, for putting on the 911 memorial ceremony, and those who attended. It was a very moving ceremony and very important to me personally. I want to recognize and thank Public Works Director Mike Hewitt for his many years of service. I think he got, what, 36 years, Mike? 47? 46. All right. Well, anyway, congratulations on your retirement. Mike's going to be leaving us for greener pastures, and he's got big shoes to fill. He's taken a lot of institutional knowledge about the infrastructure and operations of the Public Works Department with him, and we're going to miss you, Mike. We've known each other for many years, since I first came to Waukegan in 2000 when we met, so 21 years ago. And we've been at odds with one another on many occasions, but I'm happy to say that most of that time we've kind of been joined at the hip. So thank you again. I really do appreciate you both personally and professionally. Thank you, and congratulations. I want to just mention the Fiesta Patrias Parade. I happened to travel that parade route immediately afterwards, and I was really kind of taken aback, particularly about the horse manure that was left in the streets. And I know other people have made comments about that, but I just want to make sure that I mentioned it here. And I had to compare that to the aftermath of the Independence Day parades that we host on Sheridan Road. And I know that the last entry, if you will, in that parade, the Independence Day parade, is the street sweeper. They come and clean the street, and that's how you know the parade is over. And I would just encourage that in future at the Fiesta Patrias Parade, we do a similar immediate cleanup afterwards. So I went down there like 45 minutes and maybe an hour after the fact, and it was a horse mess. Also want to congratulate and acknowledge several people from my neighbors, friends, and acquaintances who have been appointed to numerous various boards. It's very important and fulfilling to participate in our government and in our community. And I just thank you and congratulate you. In the summer, Labor Day was the end of my self-funded 6-ward rewards program. I've been doing it now for 12 years. This year, again, we didn't have anyone qualify for the rewards, but I have had several people who bring to my attention about suspicious activities and criminal activities in the 6th ward, which I pass on to the police. We have solved several crimes with no one qualified for the reward. I'm thinking about, and I'll continue to give it some thought, about opening that up year-round. The reason I do it from May 1st until Labor Day is just to kind of generate additional interest and effort in identifying crime in the 6th ward during the summertime. In the 6th ward, we continue to clean and mow all of the alleys. If we haven't gotten to your alley yet, please give me a call, 847-445-3788, and we'll try and get you on the list and get that done for you. We just had our final dumpster drop for this year up on the 1700 block of Hickory. Great success. The dumpster was overflowing. And what I found is many people have an interest and a need to dispose of things that they, clutter that collects in their homes. And I'll try to do better and letting you know when those drops will be. But we've done the last one for this year in the 6th ward. The next will be in the spring. So I mentioned the cleaning the alleys and mowing. I think one of the other aldermen, Patrick Seeger, mentioned the YCC. And I've acknowledged them in the past, but they're headquartered in the 6th ward, and they work closely with me and with the Public Works Department. I just want to acknowledge everything that they do and have done. They also have expressed an interest, a desire in adopting 2 streets in the 6th ward, Western Avenue from Gulf Road down to Glen Flora, and Greenwood Avenue from Western over to Gulf. So we're working on that and hope to have an ordinance up for that, Madam Mayor. In recognition and thanks and gratitude for them, I did treat 24 of them, the students, staff, alumni, to the White Sox versus Angels ball game last Wednesday night. We had a great time. And I just mentioned this, I'm not trying to, it was very moving because not a single one of those students had ever been on an outing like that. They had never been to Chicago, never seen the massive traffic jams, never seen the tall skyscrapers, the Chicago skyline. They never saw the stadium like that, and they had a great time. They were very appreciative, and I'm just fortunate that I was able to do that for them. Thank you for that opportunity. Thank God for that opportunity. My next ward meeting is going to be October 15th. Details to follow. It's a Thursday night, probably going to be at 7. Weather depending, I may try to do it outside in Upton Park again, but details on that will follow via social media, blast, email, and text. All right? Thank you for your attention. I hope everyone has a good night.
That concludes Alderman Stein.
Okay, before I make a motion to adjourn, I'd like to do a little bit of recognition. For those of you who don't know, we have a new attorney that will be working on some of our property, abandoned properties and that kind of thing. His name is Marcus Martinez. Can you stand up so the audience can see you? And second, I would like Diane Verratti to stand up. Yep, come on, up you go. This is a lady who's worked very hard in our community, and I just wanted to wish her a happy birthday.
Diane has worked very hard in our community for many years, and we appreciate you, Diane. Thank you.
At that, I'd like a first to make a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Rivera, second by Alderman Kirkwood. All those in favor?
Aye.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you.